This is video 3 for section 10.3, and we are going to finish it up on this video. On this example, plumbing, what total length of conduit is needed for sections A and B of the pipe connection shown? So that means we're finding both sides, both A and B, based on this angle measure. And so our angle measure is 38.47. From this angle, we have the opposite side is A, and the adjacent side is B, and then the 23.75 is my hypotenuse. And that means that we're going to be using sine and cosine. On the first one, we're going to use sine for side A. Right, the sine of, good grief, I'll try to write this. It's being slow. Sine of 38.7 is my side opposite, which is side A, over my hypotenuse 23.75. To solve for A, we're going to multiply both sides by 23.75. Gosh, okay. So we've got 3.75 times the sine of 38.47, and that's going to equal A. And that's side A, okay? When I calculate that, I get, let's see, what do I want to round this to? 14.77, oh gosh, I'll just go all the way, 4988. I don't like to ever round these as I'm working on it, and that is centimeters, because we're going to combine it with this other side. Okay, so then we're going to set up our cosine of that same angle, 38.47, with the adjacent side, B, over my hypotenuse, 23.75. Once again, we're going to multiply both sides by the 23.75. So B is equal to 23.75 times the cosine of 38.47. And that gives me 18.59468. Okay, so then of course I'm going to add those. Try to fix that a little bit. It's still kind of a mess. That's supposed to be a 5. But anyway, we're going to get our total length. A plus B, and that is 33.37 centimeters. We're rounding it according to the way these were rounded in the first place, and so to the hundredths place on that. All right, this is our last example for this section. Police science. Detectives investigating a crime find a bullet hole in a wall at a height of 7 feet 6 inches from the floor. The bullet passed through the wall at an angle of 34 degrees. If they assume that the gun was fired from a height of 4 feet above the floor, how far away from the wall was the gun when it was fired? Round to the nearest foot. So we're going to draw a line across here. This is kind of like that angle of depression and angle of elevation earlier. So we're going to have an angle of elevation. I can't seem to draw straight. We're just going to have to go with what we've got. And from here, from this angle, right, which is 34 degrees, I'm going to go ahead and label that 34. Then we have this length, which is going to be the 7.5 feet minus 4. So this length will be 3.5 feet. And that's the number we're going to use for our calculation. Now, this is the side opposite, right, over the adjacent side. We're not using the hypotenuse, which would be over here, right? That's my hypotenuse. We don't need that, so we're using tangent. This will be tangent of 34. It's equal to the opposite side, which is my 3.5, over my adjacent side, and that's x, the length that we're looking for, the distance from the gun to the wall. That's x times the tangent of 34, right, because we multiply both sides times x, and that's equal to 3.5, because that cancels out. We solve for x by dividing 3.5 by the tangent of 34. And then when we round this, we're going to round it to a whole number just like the 4 was. And that's right to the nearest foot. It says round to the nearest foot. And that is going to be approximately 5 feet. So they were standing, holding the gun 5 feet from the wall. All right, so that's the end of this lesson, and next we'll have on the lesson following this is law of sines.